Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Is this Dr. Sweep?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can call me Maria.
Okay, Maria. All right. Can you hear me and can you see me, by the way?
Yes, both.
Okay, great. So let's see. I'm not able to see you just yet.
Oh, you're not? Okay, hold on. Maybe I did something wrong here. Let's see if, oh. What about?
There you go. I can
Okay.
see you.
Okay. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How about yourself? Where are you calling from today?
Around Detroit, Michigan, one of the suburbs
Okay.
in the U.S.
In the US? Okay. So yeah, we can go ahead and just dive right in.
Okay.
Okay, so Maria, what is it that prompted you to just take some time out of your day and to schedule this call?
I made the move from clinical to non-clinical practice about 3 years ago. And since then, I've just been exploring different ways to practice non-clinically. And I happened upon Dr. Zoda's website. I don't know what I Googled that I happened upon it, but I just became interested in it. There's a lot that's not answered in the online, the initial online information. So I just wanted to get more information about it.
Okay. And can you tell me just a little bit more about your current roles, your responsibilities at work right now?
Right now, I'm working in utilization management with a major insurer in the U.S. I have my background's in family medicine. I was in practice for 30 years. I spent most of that time in medical education. I was a residency program director for about 10 years in family medicine. That's what I'm board specialized in. And then I got quality boards about 2 years ago as well.
Okay. And how much are you making per month right now? Like just a ballpark?
Around 20.
Okay. And do you like what you currently do right now, like just as your day-to-day?
Yeah, it's much better than clinical practice.
Okay, so it sounds like things are going fairly well with what you're already doing. Is there anything that you would want to change about your situation if you could, though?
I'm always interested in more income. I'm a sole income in my family, and I have a son with a disability. So that's always something that I'm interested in being able to make more money, but still be available at home.
Okay, and when you say make more money, like, is it like a specific number, or is it just like the sky's the limit?
Well, of course, the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes with a price. So I'm balanced in how much time I'm willing to spend to how much income I'm willing to make. I've extra work, but it's always been the extra clinical work. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to get away from having to do extra clinical work. I don't think, it was an interesting concept in the videos about the time for money one-to-one and the time being very finite. Because I think that's something that I felt that I can't get above a certain threshold when I'm selling time for money.
Yeah. And how many hours are you working right now, like in sort of a day-to-day?
Right now, I'm very 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then I take call every third weekend for a weekend.
Okay. And do you like that schedule, or is it like something you're also actually looking to cut back on, if you could?
I would like to cut back if I could.
Okay. That makes sense. So then, I guess what has you looking for possible like outside help on creating an online course rather than maybe like just figuring things out on your own?
I didn't grow up with digital. I'm an older person. I'm not, whatever your generation is. I've lost track of the X's and Y's and Z's. So it's not intuitive to me. Digital platforming is not intuitive to me. So that's something I would need help with in terms of just the hows and the whys and such. And I'm also, in medical education, what I'm accustomed to is education of residents, medical students, and other physicians. So it's not clear to me if that's what this program is targeting, or if it's targeting a different demographic and population of people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it covers everything from residents to physicians to even the layperson, even patients. So all the above.
Okay.
Okay. So like you mentioned a little bit more where you're wanting to cut back a few hours. Do you have like a financial target that you would like to reach in the next 3 to 6 months if you were to start an online course?
Well, $30,000 in 30 days sounded very nice. It almost sounds unbelievably nice. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's an outlier. The average is anywhere from 10 within like 10,000 a month in 3 months. Is that reasonable to you though?
10,000 in 3 months. And when you say that, is that like a starting point, or is that what
Starting point?
Starting point?
Well, like it's the average, yeah. Like most people kind of stay within that 10 afterwards, or like it dwells from 7 to 10.
So that's about 40,000 a year then.
More.
Yes, that's reasonable.
Okay. So then let's say that we were to come in, we were to walk you through our entire process. In 6 months, we've helped you get to at least 10,000 per month. And at this stage, it will be more ongoing and continuous. How would things be different in your own personal or your professional life as well? Like once you do see this reality take place for you?
I think that it would be a more relaxing life.
What do you mean?
Money is security. Money is options. Money is money gives you the freedom to not have to worry about, can I, as I mentioned, I'm a sole breadwinner and I have some responsibility. So, it gives me freedom to be able to outsource things that, I'm doing right now. It might give me opportunities to not worry about the future as much for him. It gives me opportunities to just sort of ramp down the adrenaline in my own life a bit, which is, the power of money.
Okay, that makes sense. And that extra time and that extra income you mentioned would also allow you to outsource some things, I guess spend more time at home. Anything else you feel like it would help you with?
I think the thing I miss the most about what I used to do compared to what I do now is that sense that you kind of make a difference in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Working in insurance, I'm happy with the work, but there's not that sense that you're actually contributing a lot. And I think being able to get back into education would help me feel like.
The last thing I heard you mention something about for a while you felt like you haven't, I guess, like really helped people to the degree that you wanted to, and then kind of going back to it, you can do something to kind of get back on pace doing that again. Is that right? Or
yeah, teaching just makes you feel like you're more contributing more to medicine. And since I've stopped teaching, I've missed teaching. I've missed contributing to that.
How long ago did you stop teaching?
About 4 years ago.
4 years. Did you have to give it up, or is it something that you kind of?
I made a decision to leave because I needed more control over my schedule.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so and with what you're doing now, like how many months or years would it take for you to add that additional 10,000 per month and finally be able to cut back on your hours and not have to trade your time for money if you didn't have any additional help?
I don't know. I have no control over that. I mean, people tell me how much money they're going to give me when. Mm-hmm. Physicians don't tend to have like a cost of living allowance or anything like that. So it's very much based on things completely out of my control.
Okay. Well, just so that we can actually look at this from both perspectives, like have you also considered what it would look like if you don't actually find a solution to this and you do just continue to work the schedule you are right now and sort of have to do that for the next couple months, next couple years maybe? Like what would that actually look like?
It would look like my life right now. I mean, it would look like my life right now. I mean, I am not suffering in my job.
Mm-hmm.
I work regularly, I work hard, and I would probably continue to look for other avenues and opportunities that I think would help me achieve some financial and life goals. It would look like my life right now.
Okay, but it's like important for you to find something maybe.
Yeah, I want to actually achieve those financial goals.
Okay, because it does seem like what we do here can actually help you, because you mentioned a lot, like you do enjoy the actual educational side, you have the background in family medicine, but it's more so, I guess, the tech that you mentioned would be kind of a struggle, and maybe the outline to like the structure of making sure this is successful.
I don't know that the tech itself would be a struggle, but I think that I could come up with a curriculum for things because that's what I do. That's what I've done. Mm-hmm. Then, okay, you have a curriculum. I'm used to standing up in front of a group of people and then presenting it in a PowerPoint, and that's my arena. So then, how do you then become a digital performer? I don't know. So it's not if you give me the programs and stuff, I can use them. I'm not afraid of IT. It's that understanding of how it all works together that I don't really have much understanding of.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's just like the way to package it to the online format where it still gets to point like the education
right.
for the people.
And I don't, and how do you even get clients? I don't.
Yeah. What I can do right now is actually go through some of the details of the actual program and then how we could actually solve some of the problems.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share my screen with you really quickly here. And
so it's Alicia, right?
That's correct.
So do I sound like someone who you all would work with?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right.
So just a little bit of a background on us. Not sure if you got to see a little bit more of the background, but like for the past 3 years, Dr. Zoda and I, we've actually been helping specifically just like doctors on being able to replace their clinical income and achieve more financial freedom by starting their own online course. And a lot of times we do work with a lot of doctors who want to make more of an impact, but they're limited to their time. And so what we do is we help them to package their expertise into an online course. That way they have more time, have more financial freedom, but they also have the ability to still help people. And we help them by starting and growing these 6-figure online courses, while also being able to avoid a lot of the nuances that actually come with building a successful course, like the marketing, the sales process, the emails, how to like organize the ideas, systemize things, and make things look professional, and actually teach the person. And overall, just building things out sequentially. So at the end of the day, you're not spending all this extra time building a course that's not actually going to sell. Does that sound like what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the way we do that is within a 4 simple step framework. So within step 1, we get started by clearly defining a course idea on who you want to serve and what you want to teach. What this means to you is that we just avoid all the overwhelm that comes with actually trying to figure something out that's going to work. You're going to sit with Dr. Zoda, reverse engineer sort of what you have in mind and also what there is a demand in the online world and connect the two together. That way from there, we're able to move forward in each step with certainty. Then within step 2, we're going to set foundations to start selling your course. In step 3 is when we're going to start to build your course material. And then in step 4 is when we're going to automate your course. So at this stage, it's able to run all on its own and without lifting a finger. And as I mentioned, I think what might be the most valuable is really just getting started on step 1, just to help you come up with an idea that's actually going to work, and we're able to move forward in each step with certainty. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, step systems are very understandable.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. And
sure.
Yeah, in terms of how the entire program works, like that is an overview of the program itself. Like we are going to give you everything you need to successfully launch this course, and you're going to have access to Dr. Zoda and our team as a support system, where we're just going to make sure you stay on track every step of the way. And then, by the way, everything is also lifetime access. So as you continue to build this course with us and continue to want to grow it, you're still going to be able to get all the guidance and all the support that you need. And that's the entire program itself. I'm happy to answer any questions or go over any examples.
So sales, is that like going out and trying to hawk sales, or is that how to sell online?
Yeah, so we're going to give you one of our proven acquisition systems that turns a complete stranger into a paying customer. And it's not meant for you to reach out to people. Like you don't have to go out and like reach out to your network, to your peers, to your family. It's just something that's set up and it's tailored down specifically to what we come up with in the initial idea.
So it targets an audience and gets the product to the right audience.
Yes, because we'll do the marketing part for you.
Okay. So all of this must come with a cost.
Yes, there's an investment.
Okay. So that has been absent in all the pre-material. What is the investment?
Yeah, it's because before we do talk about investment, like what does matter to Dr. Zoda and I is alignment. We actually want to make sure that this does make sense for you. You actually feel like it could help you. So with that being said, and going over the materials, do you actually feel like this could get you to where you want to go?
Certainly I'm an educator and I can come up with an idea and curriculum. I'm collaborative and I can work with people. I take feedback well.
That's good.
You know the sales part. So, and that's something that you're providing, right? Yeah. The build was building the course materials, right?
Yes.
And making it look professional and getting the product ready to launch, right?
That's correct.
And then the last part is basically the launch, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Automating things.
I mean, if there's support along the way, then I mean, I'm confident I can do the part that I'm already skilled at. I guess where in this process I have doubt is the part I don't know anything about, but it sounds like you all are providing support. And, it's interesting to me in a positive way that it's not just like, we'll send you a manual about how to do it, but it's actual, I can get in touch with you and get the support I need and hear my materials. And I have a sense it's people looking at what I'm doing and working with me that way. Would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I send in something and Alicia looks at it and goes, oh my God, this is horrible, you'll say, Maria, this is horrible. You need to X, Y, Z, right?
Yeah. Dr. Zotto would be looking over it during the time process.
Okay, but Dr. Zotto would say, oh, Maria, this is terrible, you need to X, Y, Z, right?
He might not say it that way, but he'll give you feedback if it needs some changes. Right. Yes.
Okay. But so yes, there's that looks scary or strange about this right now. So yeah.
Okay, I would like to invite you as well. You mentioned you're coachable, like you're willing to follow the steps, and we'll help you every step of the way. So in terms of the actual investment, it's typically a $50,000 investment. But with that being said, we do have something called incentive-based pricing for this specific cohort, where we found that those who tend to make decisions quickly always really get the best results and become our best clients. So for that reason, the incentive-based pricing, instead of the $15,000, is going to be $10,000.
See, I don't know that I'm a quick decision maker, Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me what $10,000 or $15,000 gets. It gets the program. It gets the. Oh, okay. You were ready for me. And it's lifetime access. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have stats about what only 10% of the people who try to make contact get accepted into the program. What's your average income from people who have joined this, a year later? What are your stats in terms of how much people are making?
$7,000 to $10,000 a month. That's the average. And then there's always outliers. So like those will be the ones you see that are like at 30,000 plus.
And how much time are they spending for that?
At a specific stage, it's automated. So really within that 3 month time frame is when we finally decide to cut back, and it's just running on its own.
And how long are they making the $7,000 to $10,000 a month? Is that?
We've had some doctors I've been working with for over 2 years now, and they're still creating income to this day.
Okay. Are there regulations and guidelines in that in terms of putting these sorts of products out on the internet?
Yes. So really the biggest thing, like we'll be reviewing yours and even have people who are within your field of expertise to review some things there. But the other side of things is also it's meant to be education and not to be, you wouldn't say anything that you shouldn't say on there, that you're giving medical advice. And there'll be disclaimers that will help you set up so that people that join are well aware that it's just simply education and not to be taken as actual medical advice. There's no liability there.
And as students as one gets students, are the students then paying me or are they paying Digital Doctor?
They're paying you directly.
Is there any kind of, I'm blanking on the word. Like if someone pays me $100, am I agreeing to give you a certain percentage of that?
No, it's all to you. The only investment here is just that one-time investment that covers everything. But when you get course sales, none of that percentage goes to us.
Okay. And how long have you all been doing this?
3 years.
What are you thinking, Alicia?
I'm just letting you think.
Have you had any people just completely bomb out and not make anything after initial investment?
No, there's a huge gap in medical education where a lot of people are actively searching for something specific, and there's a huge gap between what people are looking for and they're not able to actually find it. So as of now, we haven't had somebody who has dedicated 8 years or more of their lives into a specific specialty or in a specific industry and somehow doesn't have anything to teach.
Okay. So you've had people, though, that stop making. Do people build on more than one course? One course can't just produce I'm missing on the word, forever.
Yeah. And so you can build a second course, but a lot of times, like when one thing works, it's not like much changes. Like people are actively searching for the education, whether that's every year, every day, every week. Like let's say it's something like a pregnancy masterclass that one of the OBGYN inside of our program does. Right? There's always going to be a pregnant woman like every month, every like month after that, every year. So there's always like actively people looking for it, and that's what we're hoping to create. It's not going to be one thing where it's trending just this month and next month like it's no longer a trend. Like these aren't trends; these are actual education that people are looking for actively, and they'll continue to do so, like month over month, day over day, week over week. That way, it's actually consistent income.
Okay. And this goes globally, right?
Yes.
Do you find most of your class or most of your students are US based? Or I don't mean the people that you sign.
Like the course sales, like the ones that buy the courses.
Yeah.
They're US. Some, depending where you're targeting, is like there's US, Mexico, Canada, Australia, India. Yeah, it does range, but yes, it's mainly US.
That's fine, that are using these courses. Okay. Huh. So I guess the question is, am I willing to make a $10,000 investment? That's the question, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you have other family physicians working with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you just give me examples of like what their courses are about?
That would be something for Dr. Zeta. We do have some examples, but because when you join, like most doctors, like we have like a NDA type where we don't share unless they give us permission. We do have a limited amount of websites we can share. I can share what something looks like that might not be in your industry, but still walk you through that process. That would be helpful.
I'm sorry, you can what?
I can share with you some examples from other like doctors in other industries who have allowed us to share like what they have.
Oh yeah, thank you. That would be nice.
Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen with you really quickly, and here, give me just a moment. Okay, so this is the OBGYN I was mentioning earlier. I'm going to brief my screen here really quickly. Right, so she helps pregnant women avoid pain and injury during pregnancy. And this is sort of the page we put out for her. So just go to the very bottom. Someone were to come to the course, they have like a little content initially that they can watch. After that, they eventually go through some other resources that allows them to end up to this actual course page towards the end. So once they get to this, they're going to get to a checkout. And at this point, you know, they're aware of what the problem is. They want to solve it, and they're inside of here. So what they will do next is that they will actually put in their email, their credit card details, create their account right here, and complete their purchase. And they're well aware of what they're getting inside, right? And they want to solve this problem. So what happens after that is that they complete their purchase. The course itself gets sent over to the student, the person who bought it. And then the 888 gets sent straight to Dr. Tian's bank account. And this is just something that's running on the internet 24/7.
And this sort of thing, has been generating about
7,000 to 12,000 per month for her, like on average.
Family medicine topics are generating in the same range?
Yeah.
So you sort of start with a little webcast and then go to a, Could you go back to the slide about what was in the?
Oh, like the.
No, yeah. So this part in the middle, an overview of the female anatomy and. Okay. Do you know how is the course is web based, right?
Yeah, it's prepackaged, so it's already said and done. After that, it's completed, and then she doesn't have to be involved in it. It's just that initial time frame to just set the course content up.
And then do you get help with referencing and all that? So I mean, it uses.
Yeah, you'll get help there.
Pictures and photos and all that junk.
Yeah.
Alicia, I kind of want to try. I would like to try.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll hold off your seat now and I'll reserve it. So I'll go ahead and send you that invitation to your email. So I'm just going to call it, dear doctor, I'm hold off your seat as well. Give me just a moment here. And
how do you all accept payment? Do you accept like electronic checks and that too, or?
Credit card or like debit card or wire transfer.